Okay, good morning. Hi, Chen, George Realty. Hope you have a very nice weekend. It was a nice weekend for me, and the weather was just nice. And you know that this week, all eyes are on the Fed, whether they're going to reduce the interest rate or not. It's widely expected they will reduce it at least 25 percentage points. I was hoping that they will reduce 50 percentage point, but I don't think that is very likely. And knowing that the data that they receive is still that the inflation is still not to the exactly the way that they want it to be. So, but at least 25 percentage point, which is really good, and I think a lot of buyers are waiting for this moment. That will be a turning point for the real estate market, I hope. And they was expecting that by the end of the year they would do another couple of reduction as well. So that's good. Keep our fingers crossed. But meanwhile, don't give up. You just have to keep on trucking and do your business as usual. And we have 2 more months to really do some good business. Okay. All right, and with that, I would like to, I have to mention that Nicole and Manat will be our spotlight, affiliate spotlight today, and she'll tell us how to do the due diligence in the title. When you're doing your preliminary title, that you have to do your due diligence, and that makes a lot of difference. But before that, I would like to introduce other affiliates. So let's start with Sandy. Sandy Franco from First American Home Warranty.
Hi,
Sandy?
everybody from California for the first time in almost 10 weeks. Um, this is the time to make sure that you've got your act in gear for prospecting stuff. You need to be ready, seeing what the feds are going to do. We could really end this year strong. Okay. But if you're not ready, you're going to watch everybody else end this year strong. Okay. And let's not do that. We have the tools. First American is huge. We have what you need from all three of your Eagle partners that are here. I have the door hangers, the bags. This stuff is all free. I'm actually in town. I'm going to reload Angie up and we're going to bring stuff to the office on Wednesday. So whatever you need, ask us for it so we can give it to you so you can get ready. If you're not ready and everybody else is, they're going to have a great end of 2025 and you're not. Okay, this is not the time to go, oh, well, we're just going to write it off because it was a crappy year. Okay, let's not do that. Okay, this year is exactly what we're going to make of it, just like every other year is. Okay, there are agents doing fabulous numbers this year. Huh. So it's not crappy for everybody. You've got to put yourself out there and you've got to do the work. We'll bring the tools. You've got to put the effort into it. Okay, so we'll see you on Wednesday. I'm bringing door hangers. I'm bringing bags. I'm bringing pins. I'm bringing chapstick. We'll talk about stuff and ways to be successful. Okay. So I can't wait to see people in actual person. Super excited about that. So have a fabulous rest of your day.
Okay, thank you, Sandy. You're right. We can lead you to the water, but you still have to drink it yourself. So yeah, you have to put in your work too. So next we have Nancy Chen from Lawyers Title. Nancy.
Good morning, everybody. Nancy Chan, Lawyer's Title. Cannot agree with Sandy more. We can lead the horse to water. We can't make them drink. So, guys, I think all the affiliates, your company, Peter, Michelle, everybody's here to help you. The support you're getting is really phenomenal. But just call us, any one of us, call us and let us know what you need to do, what you want to do, and we'll tailor it to you. So here we are, 40 some years add together in the business. We're still here to help you. Thank you so much. Nancy Chan, Lawyer's Title. Have a great week.
Thank you, Nancy. Nancy is very amicable and she's really even willing to help you in person. So, if you have anything at all, just call her, then she'll come right to you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Nancy. Then we have Brendan, the second Eagle of First American.
Thanks, Peter. Good morning, everyone. Yes, Second Eagle has landed here to protect your nest. So real quick, I have had a few phone calls in the last few days on certain things within the NHD report and why it's important which company you use. So there's a couple of things. Most people think that the NHDs are all the same. Every company is the same. Where we differ is one, the data. So the information that we are providing you, especially the tax information, a lot of companies buy that tax information third party. We have a tax team that is dedicated within our company, as well as our geological staff that are looking at every single parcel, every single property specifically, and ensuring that the data is accurate. Where the data can differ, the phone numbers and links to where you go to get those inspections. I've heard from multiple people that they've tried to call the numbers from other reports. They're not as accurate. We have dedicated staff that is ensuring that those are accurate. So when it comes to your escrow, all of those people really need that information to ensure that you close on time. The other piece is the environmental. So I had a call this weekend, the leaking underground storage tanks, things like that that can be concerns to your clients. Give me a call while you're with your client. I did this for someone this weekend, and I can walk them through where that information is coming from and what they should be looking for. So when it comes to a lot of the environmental stuff, they really want to make sure that that stuff is closed. So within our report, if you go down to each section where the hyperlink specifically says leaking underground storage tanks, they go to that specific page and make sure that the EPA has closed it. As long as it has been closed, you're good to go. So just give me a call anytime you have those questions with those clients and you want to go over that. I'm here to help you guys anytime. And I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of the week.
Thank you, Brandon. That's good
You're welcome.
information. Thank you very much. And then we have the third eagle from First American, Angie Tang. Go ahead,
Thank you,
Angie.
Peter. Hi, everyone. Angie Tang, First American Title. Like we were mentioning before, all of our Eagles, we pride ourselves on data, good and bad. And the reason why I say good and bad is because sometimes we can find things that the clients don't want us to find in the prelim. And that's a bad thing. But we pride ourselves on data because what we ultimately do is we have to protect our insured, which means that the transfer has to go smoothly, which means that the data that we pull has to be accurate. And if it's not accurate, even if it's not what you want to see in that prelim, we still will have that shown, and we have to get that rectified before we close. So good and bad that we have amazing data, that we always put ourselves first when it comes to data, and put ourselves first when it comes to problem solving and finding solutions for title insurance. So we have a class coming up on Wednesday on farming. Again, it's all about data. So all the resources that we have, we First American reinvest constantly in upgrading our data, getting the best resources for our clients. So come on Wednesday, we're going to have a lunch and learn all the different tactics and tools where you can elevate yourself to the next level. I'm here to help you grow your business and insure it. Angie Tang, First American Title. Thanks, Peter.
Thank you, Angie. Yes, as Angie said, that this Wednesday is a treat. She's going to go over the farming, and also the app that she has is called the RE Ignite. It's very, very good tool. I use it, and I'm very impressed with it. And they get a lot of good data and good information. So don't miss this Wednesday. It's 1 o'clock. We have lunch and learn. Okay. All right. Thank you, Angie. Mark, good morning. How are you? You have to unmute, Mark. Can't hear you. I still can't hear you. Looks like you have some audio problem.
Okay, there it goes.
Oh, there you go.
Am I in? Good morning,
yeah.
everybody. Mark Wu here with as an insurance consultant to provide solutions for your home insurance and condo insurance needs. Again, just be proactive, whether you're the buyer's agent or the listing agent. You need to start the process as soon as the offer is accepted, so that there provides ample enough time in the event that a claim pops up and we have to show mitigation of that claim being resolved before we could get insurability. I'm here to assist you, and I'll leave my contact information. Have a great week.
Thank you, Mark. Any good news from the insurance industry? still.
The only good news is that not more companies have left.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, fine. I think, Michelle, do we have any?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
Can you
just a
introduce
second.
them?
Good morning. Hi,
Glenda, how are you?
Stroud Realty.
Nice that
I
you
hope-
always come to the training room.
Thank you so much. I hope
Good.
everyone had a nice weekend. Yolanda Martinez at NSWFG National Title Company. Just FYI, when you get that listing, we encourage that you order the prelim at that time. We're running into where there's old deeds of trust and the seller or the family assumes and knows it's paid off, but it's still on the chain of title. So sometimes it's addressed at the end, even though it's in the report, and we need time to clear it, contact the previous lender if it was assigned or if they're out of business or merged with the current lender. You have to remember if it's an old deed of trust, a lot of times with an institution, it's not a priority for these lenders, and it does take time to get a release. So please, I encourage everybody, when you get that listing, open up the order. Let's check to see if there's anything that we need to clean up, take care of, so that it does not delay your transaction. Things are still busy, lots of listings, a lot of open houses on the weekends. So please call me with all your title needs. Yolanda Martinez at NSWFG National Title Company. Have an awesome and productive week.
Yolanda, I have a question for you.
Sure.
You know the WFG title,
Mhm.
property profile app
Mhm. Yes.
that I use, routine.
Yes, we do. We have the
Yeah, you do.
WFG on the
But
go
some
app.
of the deeds are not recorded in that WFG property profile. How can we be sure that all of the deeds
Is it
are
not
available?
recorded, or that it was just recently recorded and there's that gray period from when a deed is recently recorded to it actually being posted to the chain of title? Because I do get that even through our regular customer service or even when they call me personally. And then I'll ask, when was the deed recorded? Oh, 3 days ago or 4 days ago. It takes time. LA is one of the worst in posting. It takes time for them to post to the chain of title. So it could be that, or a mispost, the legal description could be wrong. So let me know or contact me right away and we can see what the situation is.
The thing that I'm concerned about is the deeds that has been recorded a long time ago, like 20 years ago. And it doesn't appear on the WFG.
Oh, well,
property profile.
okay, so if it's an old document, that's a different story where it is recorded,
Yeah.
but it's an old document.
Right.
So they only give you the most recent documents or the ones that are important to. So you would need to call customer service or to say you want to go back, like from the last insured transaction, or go back to get some old documents, which we can. All title companies
Okay.
can. So you need
Okay.
to request that. So that's a little different. Online, you're just going to get the most recent ones.
Oh, I see.
Anything old or what we call before plant time, especially before plant time, old documents in the 60s, 70s, you got to order those. And we can get them to you, right away. It's just that it has to be ordered through customer service. So if
I
it's
see.
something specific, Peter, please call me. I'll be more than happy to assist you and get you the documents.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thank you.
Yolanda. Okay, is that all the affiliates?
Yes.
Michelle? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, I think that it's time for Nicole Manat, the presentation. You all know Nicole. She's always helpful. She gives you a weekly update on the housing market, and those are very good articles. So without further delay, let's welcome Nicole. Nicole, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Nicole Menard, Fidelity National Title. And before I begin, I would like to thank Peter and Michelle for allowing the affiliates this special time each week to spotlight our business. And I truly appreciate this time to be a part of this amazing group. And as you saw in the email that was pushed out to you, today I want to talk about something that's often overlooked and very, very critical to your business and smooth closings. And that is due diligence. Due diligence and how it relates to title. And so, as you know, as agents, you have to, follow this due diligence process in investigating every aspect of the property and the owners when you take the listing, when the property's in escrow, as well as before closing. So that due diligence includes your inspections, reviewing your disclosures, verifying the zoning, but most importantly, as Yolanda mentioned, Nancy even, and Angie, it's so important when you take that listing that you order your prelim. And not only when you order your prelim, that you actually review it. And if you need assistance reviewing that prelim, going over the items that may appear in the prelim, reach out to any one of us. We're here to help you and guide you and help you understand, what the prelim is showing you, what's recorded on the property, as well as what may appear against the individual name. So as you know, why does title matter? Well, you need to know who the owner of record is, right? You need to make sure that the individual that you're speaking with is, in fact, the seller. They have the legal right to sell the property, and especially on vacant lots and absentee owners where we're seeing a lot of fraud. You want to make sure that you're doing your due diligence and confirming that these individuals are, in fact, the owners, and that the new buyer is receiving the property free of liens, claims, or any other surprises. And so without you providing that due diligence and this information to the new buyer, you could avoid, or you could potentially have legal issues, delays in closing, or the transaction not closing, which nobody wants that, right? There's a lot of parties involved. And so it's very, very important that you make sure that you review these items. Many items that are title obstacles that are appearing in our prelims, conversations with agents, and issues that agents are running into, as well as the escrow. If there's a bankruptcy, and again, bankruptcies appear when we are provided with the statement of information. That statement of information is a key point to our title search. So it's very, very important that you have your sellers and buyers complete those SIs, get those into escrow, and also email to the title officer, because you do have a copy of the prelim, or even email to us as the reps. We'll forward that information into our title officers. That way we can, clear the names of any bankruptcies. Probates are also an issue, foreclosures. Also with the vesting, as we've mentioned in the past, trusts. You need to make sure that you're dealing with the trustees, or if the original trustees have passed away, that you're dealing with the successor trustee. So we as a title company, title companies will ask for complete copies of the trust. Also the entity documents, if the property is held in a corporation or an LLC, we need to make sure that these individuals are the ones that are authorized to sign on behalf of those entities. Also within the trust, these are a lot of questions that I'm getting lately. Oh, we have a power of attorney that was completed, the property is held in a trust. Well, you need to look at the trust and confirm that it allows for a POA to be used. Many of the trusts do not allow for a POA. So it's important to get a jump on that ahead of time. And that's why it's so important that you open a prelim when you take the listing, to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row and you don't avoid any delays. Also, as Yolanda mentioned, released liens and judgments. So those deeds of trust, I just had one recently. Both parents were deceased. There was a line of credit recorded on the property. It was 30 plus years old. We still wanted some proof that the loan was paid off because, you know, as title, our largest claims right now are lines of credit. Even though they say the loan's paid off, we need a freeze letter and paid in full, because a lot of times they'll still draw on that money that was there. So it's very, very important that, you know, we gather that information. We're able to make calls. Myself, the agent, and the escrow worked together, and were able to track down who took over the loan for that particular bank at the time, or credit union. And so, you know, we're here to help, walk alongside you, and help you every step of the way. Also, encroachments and off-record easements. These are items that could present issues. Improperly executed documents or notaries, and this is also an issue. So make sure that if your client is not here, they're not able to sign at the embassy, that you check with the title company that you're working with, find out what their requirements are on notaries, if they allow for RON, and if they have specific companies that they work with to avoid those delays. And then if there's any last minute changes in buyer's coverage. So each of these items, bullet points that I just shared, can, you know, disrupt the closing as well as cause delays, or, as I mentioned, you may not be able to close because of those issues. So this is how we can help you identify these red flags, is by looking at the prelim, requesting any missing documents. I always ask for underlying documents, also ask for plotted easements, and in our prelims, they're all hyperlinked, so you'll have access to those documents. And it will give us time also to clear liens and judgments. So if you do order the prelim, and I hope that you listen to all of your favorite title reps here and take our advice and open those prelims to make sure that you've got a clear picture to help you help your sellers close smoothly. Okay. And also, as you as an agent, it's important to ask questions, especially about the trusts, divorces. And with divorces, we need to know if the spouse was awarded the property, whoever, you know, is going to be occupying the property. So gather as much information, ask as many questions as you can, also about the estates. And you know, communicate with us, communicate with your escrow. We're all here to work together to provide a smooth and successful closing. And remember, every transaction is different. And that's why communication is key to your success. And not only that, your clients will be very pleased with you and want to work with you again in the future and refer you to friends and family, which we all love referrals, right? So if something doesn't feel right, make sure that you ask us, the title, your escrow, and your sellers. And this way we can help navigate the transaction smoothly. So as you know, due diligence on your side as a realtor is very, very important. And again, it's very important on the title side. So I'm here to help you along the process, help you close your transactions effectively and smoothly. With 33 years in the business, I not only have the technical background with the title, but also the tech on the computer technology, the apps, and I'm here to support you, walk alongside you, help you, hold your hand, and help you be successful. And I think Sandy was saying, we have a short period of time left. There's 107 days left in the year. And you've got to do everything in your power to generate as much momentum as you can. And as Peter said, we're hoping that the rates are going to drop. They have. We know that good things are coming, so you've got to be prepared, and we're all here to support you and help you with your business. We got to get out of our ego, out of our minds, and change that script that's in our heads and turn on that positivity, because there is a lot of opportunity out there. And I just want to say thank you so much for this time to be here with you, and I wish you all a successful week. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Nicole. Yeah, you're so right that all the agents should do their due diligence as soon as possible and order their preliminary title as soon as possible, because during the escrow period, you're supposed to do all the due diligence and identify all the suspicious issues that you think or that is not favorable for your clients. So lately we had the escrow delayed for 1 week because the agent forgot to resolve the issue of the city's violations. All this, that was many years, almost 25 years ago that the violation was recorded, but sometimes the city is not very diligent in removing those violations. And when it appears on the preliminary title, you get to attend to it and remove it as soon as possible before the title will issue the policy. So these kind of issues, you got to identify them and resolve them as soon as possible. So thank you so much, Nicole, for your help, and appreciate it very much. Okay, any affiliate that came in late and who wants to identify themselves? Time to speak up. Okay.
Hi, this is Yin Yin. I just
Hi, Yan Yan.
logged in late. Sorry.
That's okay. You want to talk?
No,
Oh, you don't. You just want to say hi?
just say hi.
Okay, you say hi. Thank you for coming. All right. At this time, I would like to make 2 announcements. And as you said, as you know, we are going to have a lunch and learn with Angie, and Angie is going to talk about how to do farming and how to do marketing with her app that is called the Real Estate RE Ignite, and it is a very good app, very useful and very informational. So don't miss that the lunch and learn, and you also have free lunch as well, a light lunch, as I should say. And then this Friday, the quarterly mixed party is going to be from 3 to 5 p.m. this Friday. And this is going to be a very good event. As you know, the last time we have a fabulous event, a fabulous time with that mixer. And this time will be no exception. And this time we'll even include other brokers from other brokerage. So if you have your favorite friend who's a real estate agent or broker, invite them to the event. They are welcome to. And there will be plenty of food, a lot of drinks, and a lot of fun, and a lot of mingling together, and share your insights and things with your friends. Okay, so this is this Friday at 3 to 5. So I hope to see all of you there this Friday. Okay, at this point, I would like to call upon Michelle to tell us what's going on with the sales and listings.
Hello, everybody. So I'll go through the new escrows that occurred last week. So 1301 South Atlantic Boulevard, Monterey Park, Cecilia Wong. It's a condo for $545. A lease 1926 Shady Dale Avenue in West Covina. Karina Pang represented both the tenant and the housing provider. 406 North Lincoln Avenue, number A, Monterey Park, $750,000. That's Nina and Tatiana's listing, and Nanette Ong is representing the buyer. 1 Deerwood Avenue in Irvine is a lease, and that's Claire Chin. She is the tenant's agent. 22840 Hilton Head, number 129 in Diamond Bar. Sharon Chow sold a condo at 398-600. New listings last week, 2727 Kilburn Avenue in Rosemead. That's Anna Lasarda, $925,000. It is a residential home. 419 North Chandler Avenue, number 521 in Monterey Park. Nina and Tatiana, $718,000. 610 Second Avenue, number C in Arcadia. That's listed by Gary Lee. It's a condo at $1.3 million. Our closed escrows last week. 357 Ardilla Avenue, La Puente, $750. That's Yolanda and Oscar. It's residential. 901 South Fremont, number 168 in Alhambra. That's a lease. Karina Pang. 3195 Fosterburg Road. And that's 1.810. And that was a commercial by Richard Wang closing. 1155 North Hill Avenue in Pasadena. That's Camilla Vera. That is a residential lease. And 4297 Moonstone Drive in Los Angeles. Herman Salcido represented both ends. It's a residential at $700,000. 226 South DeKalb Street in Los Angeles, residential. The selling agent is Antonio Rodriguez, and that was sold at $749,000. Congratulations to everybody on your hard work and effort last week. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Okay, anybody who came in late or want to share the listing or that is not listed here, or the sales that are not listed? Anybody who want to supplement that? Well, okay, then if not, then we'll go on with the meeting. And as you actually, I want to tell you that our mentor-mentee program is in high gear now. We have about 7 mentors who are very experienced commercial agents, commercial real estate agents, and they are willing to mentor anybody who wants to learn about commercial real estate, and even the hands-on help with the transactions. So if you need any help on the commercial real estate, let me know. I can pair you up with somebody that are more experienced and help you through the transactions. Okay, so this is a very good program, and I'm sure that people who gone through this mentor-mentee program, they are very appreciative of it. Okay, with that, I would like to, if no more question, anybody want to share their experience last week? Well, if not, I'll do my weekly presentation. Okay, what I want to talk about is the federal reporting requirement by FinCEN. You know that several months ago we have a big fanfare about the federal requirement that all the corporations, all the entities, LLCs, partnerships, they have to report what we call the business owner information, and which means that they have to report all the information about who is in the corporation, who is the manager, and who is in control of the corporation, and who has what kind of membership or shares in the corporations. There was a lot of going on with that, and the back and forth lawsuits and appeals. then they finally decide to waive that requirement on all the domestic corporations, but they still require the foreign corporation to report the BOI. And now they're coming back with another version of it, but this time it concerned with real estate, and this is what mattered most to the real estate agents. So this is the brand new requirement. It's going to be effective December 2025, which is only about 2 months away. And we should get ready for it. And if we are not careful and we don't abide by it, and the penalty is very stiff, so make sure that you know about this reporting very thoroughly. Okay. Okay, as I said, it's going to be effective December 1st, 2025. And what kind of transaction is it? Does it cover? Well, in order to be eligible for this kind of reporting, you have three requirements, and all the three requirements has to be satisfied before you're required to report. So the first requirement is that it pertains to residential real estate, meaning that any single family residence, any apartment units 1 to 4 or less, any vacant land intended for building the homes, or mixed use property with a residential portion. And the second requirement is the non-finance transfer. In other words, a transaction where you don't have to have financing, you can pay all cash, or whether it is financed by the seller, or if it is financed by an institution or hard money lender that is not subject to the AML or SAR obligations. And so in other words, it's only applied to non-finance transfers. And the third requirement is that the transferees is a legal entity or trust. In other words, it has to be either LLC or corporation, trust, or partnership, or anything that an entity, a limited partnership that may apply. And the exemption, there are certain exemptions, and it doesn't apply to any transactions that is resulting from death or from the dissolution of marriage, which is divorce, or transfer to a bankruptcy, or transfer supervised by the U.S. courts. And then there would be, and also when you charge transfer from your personal title to the trust, where the persons are still the settlor or the grantor, that is exempted. And also the transfer to a 1031 exchange, and in accordance with the IRC section 1031. All cases where there's no reporting person, in other words, no settling the entity is involved, or none of the person in the reporting cascade are involved. And who must report? Well, they designated the certain professional to report, to do this reporting. One of those categories are the lawyers, escrow officers, insurance agents, or any settlement agents. And they have a kind of hierarchy of reporting the requirements that they can follow. So if one of them does not or cannot serve, then the other one will fill in the gap. And also you can all have a separate agreement for the destination of who's going to report, and who will be the first to report, and second, third, or third to report. And what must be reported? The first thing that they report is the parties involved, naming the seller or the buyer, and then the beneficiary ownership of the entities that is involved. For example, the LLC or corporation, where the persons who hold 25% or more has to have the informations reported in that transaction, and also when you are dealing with the trust, all the trustees, trustors, and beneficiaries has to be reported as to the date of birth, address, a tax identifier, citizenship, or anything that pertinent to their personal informations. And then they also have to report the property details. They have to report about what is the property involved, whether it's a commercial, well, it's commercial exam, but what kind is it an apartment, or is it a single family residence, or is it a condo, or things like that. And then also the location of the property. And also you have to report the transactional detail about the purchase price and the source of funds and how the payment was made, and all those financial information. The timing is that you have to do the report no later than 30 calendar days after the closing of escrow, or the last day of the month following the month in which the closing occurred, whatever is later. So you have all at least 30 days to report to do this reporting. And then you are obligated to retain the records for at least 5 years, okay? And all the information about what you have gathered, you are required to retain it for 5 years. Nevertheless, it's kind of interesting that you are not required to retain the copy of the real estate report submitted to the FinCEN. The FinCEN, they have a special form that you have to do, and that special forms that for some reason you don't have to retain it for your record for 5 years. I don't know why, but that's the requirement. And then the penalty is pretty stiff. For even the negligent violations, the civil penalty is up to $1,394 per violations. And then you have additional civil penalty up to $108,489 for if you have a pattern of negligent activities. And if you are willful, if you find out that you're willfully violated, then criminal penalty will maybe assessed, and up to 5 years in imprisonment, and then the fine up to $250,000. So this is a really hefty penalty. So you cannot afford to violate it or to fail to report it if your transaction is within the requirements. Right now, although right now this federal rule is being challenged legally by a lot of the entities, and I'm sure there will be a lot of fightings in the future. And I don't know how it's going to end up. Maybe it was the same thing with the BOI, end up with the BOI fate. But we just have to wait and see. But nevertheless, as now the effective date for the reporting is December 1st, 2025, meaning that after the December 1, 2005, you have to abide by this rule. So what you do is, for the real estate agent, you have to have an action plan. When you have a transactions that falls within this category. So first of all, you have to determine whether the transaction is reportable. You remember there are 3 requirements. It has to be residential property, and it has to be non-financed by traditional banks, and the buyer has or the transferee has to be a legal entity or a trust. Okay, so if they don't fall inside these categories, and all of them has to be satisfied, okay, not just one. So all 3 conditions to be satisfied, and if that is the case, then you have to report it. Now there are certain exemptions too, that if it's by death or divorce or bankruptcy or court order or qualifying 1031 exchange or any other exempt cases, then you don't have to report it. So make sure that that your transaction is the one that is required to report. Okay. Now, it's nice to know that the parent to child transfer, if you transfer to the child personally, then it's exempt. But if you transfer to the child's LLC, then it's not. Okay. In other words, if you transfer to the LLC in which the child is the only member of the LLC, then it is not exempt. Okay, so make sure of that. So the second thing is to identify the reporting person. So you have to decide which one is going to report for you. You have to let them know. Okay, whether it's attorney, whether it's title officer, whether it's the escrow officer, or any of the insurance agent, or any other people involved. If multiple parties qualify, then you have to designate which one goes first, which one goes second, and which one goes third. Okay, and then you confirm with them and who will be actually doing to prepare for the filing of the report with the FinCEN. And then the third one is to collect all the required information. Okay, first of all, who's the transferee, what's the name of the corporation, and then you have to find out what the beneficial ownership interest is for all the members who has more than 25% ownership of the corporation or the LLC, and then for trust, who's the grantor, who's the trustee, who's the beneficiaries, and those sort of information you have to find out. And then for all those beneficial owners, you have to find out their full name, date of birth, address, tax ID number, or foreign passport number, or citizenship. And also for the seller, you have to get that information as well. And then you have to find out the property information, where it's located, and whether it's single family residence or condo or PUD and all that. And transactional information about what is the consideration, what is the purchase price, what is the payment method, and all the financial informations. Okay, the fourth thing that you have to do is to file the real estate report, which you can find it from FinCEN. Is called the FinCEN Real Estate Report Form, which is to be released. Right now, it's not available yet, but nevertheless, it won't be effective until December 1st, 2025. So, and then file within 30 days of closing, or by the last day of the following month, whichever is later. And then you submit it electronically through the FinCEN reporting system, which is, by the way, very easy to do and very convenient. Okay. And the fifth thing you have to do is that you have to retain the records for 5 years, and all the information that you gather for the FinCEN report, you have to keep for 5 years. But strangely, you don't have to keep a copy of the file report itself. So the sixth thing you have to do is you have to train your staff and to update all the policies, whether they have any changes along the way. Make sure that all the staff know how to do the reporting. And then lastly, you have to monitor the compliance, and the rest you have to put in a certain calendar, the deadline for each closing, to avoid late filing, because if you get late filing, you have a penalty. And then if you don't file at all, it's going to be a hefty penalty, and I don't want that to happen. Okay, and then track any updates. That is very important. So that's the essence of the newest federal reporting on the FinCEN. So do you have any questions now? You're welcome to ask me now, or if you later on you have any question, you can always call me or Michelle. We can give you a clearer picture of what's going on. Okay. Any questions?
Peter, I have a question.
Yeah.
So we as soon as we get a listing, we order a title, a preliminary title and stuff like that.
Yes.
And this is where we find like the discrepancy. Is this where the title company finds any discrepancies and all that? And this is where Vincent steps in, or is this
Discrepancy? What
yeah,
kind of
like
discrepancy?
like let's just say like we have an entity that's out, let's say we have a the actual owner lives overseas.
The
And
actual owner. No, the
yeah,
transferee is the buyer.
yes,
If the buyer is an entity, if LLC or any partnership or a trust, you have to do that. And it doesn't matter whether the seller is entity or a foreigner.
Mm.
okay,
You understand?
yeah,
Yeah, it matters what the transferee, which is a buyer, because they want to find out, where the buyer get the financing. The purpose of this rule is to prevent AML, which is the money laundering law, and money laundering, is very, very, very prevalent in the real estate transaction. That's why they want to find out, make sure that it's not, money laundering.
interesting.
Yeah. Okay, any more questions?
I just want to make a comment, Peter.
Yeah.
We'll have Peter and I will be here as well, but we'll have more in-depth training on this. Friday, I believe it's the 26th of September. You'll start getting notices about it at 1 o'clock. But and Peter and I will be here, and there'll be a more in-depth with handouts training. And Peter will also send his PowerPoints to you. So by the end of the month, if or you think of questions, ask Peter or I, but we'll have more training to make sure everybody understands.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a hands-on training on Friday the 26th. That'd be
Yeah.
good. Wonderful.
Peter,
Okay.
this is Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
Yeah, usually, maybe up to a couple years ago, on every transaction, our title company required us to fill in the SI, statement of information, and that is gone, And so, since the one who is responsible to report these is escrow title, and maybe we as agent, we need to prepare the all this kind of information.
Yeah.
And so with that, do you think title company will bring back those kind of a system access to fill in, maybe NG or the other title officer can answer this question, such as a statement of information back, maybe do a little bit modification and make it easier for us? Do you think that could happen?
Yeah, I think it will be okay. It's up to you and the title officers to do that. They don't require you, but you can certainly arrange that. Sure.
Yeah, because to be very honest to you, if we don't use it, we are going to forget about that. I even forget about what is the statement of information. And then when I listen to this, oh yeah, a couple years ago, we do have that. Then all of a sudden it's gone. And what I'm afraid about is, if we, as I say, we don't use it, we are going to forget about that.
Yeah.
And during a transaction in the future, maybe, I don't know, as a title company, maybe design some system. So every time when you have that, all agent need to have their clients to,
Yeah. So
fill in that.
Nicole, you have any comment on that?
I do.
Okay,
So we do provide the statement of information in our prelims. So you can, as soon as you receive that prelim, you can get a jump start and ask your seller to complete that. A lot of times I even suggest when you're going and taking the listing, once you sign the listing, have a copy of that SI, and those are available on our website. And I know all the title companies have the forms. You can reach out to any of us and ask us for that information. So that's not an issue. And then with regards to the GTO, that's also something that's included in our prelims for the properties that we're requiring that additional information as well. Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Any more questions for anybody? Okay. If not, then I will wish you a very good week ahead. And yeah, I will see you next week. Oh,
Bye-bye.
don't forget about the lunch and learn, and also the mixer party this week. Okay, it'll be fun. Hope all we can see you all.
Bye, Peter.
Bye,
Okay, bye, everybody.
everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Sure. Bye-bye.